Right, ladies and gentlemen, this afternoon's press conference is about to begin. We have the drivers already coming in. With the back row, our right to left, Heikki Kovalainen, Bruno Senna and Jean-Eric Vergne. And the front row, our right to left, Nico Hülkenberg, Kimi Räikkönen and Narain Karthikeyan. Just basically from me, two questions. First of all, a slightly non-motor racing question for the benefit of the locals, and then a more specialised question later on. Your thoughts on India. Some of you have been here before, some of you haven't. So your thoughts on what you've experienced so far and what you've seen so far, and what do you think of the country and what do you think of the circuit? First of all, Heikki, of course, you've been here before last year. You've been training in Abu Dhabi. You're used to the heat. But just what do you think of the weekend coming up and the country itself?
Well, I think, like you said, last year, the first year that we raced here, and I think the event itself was, really successful. And especially the circuit, I think they've done a great job here with the circuit. I think the layout is one of the best in the calendar. They've done really some nice corners, and surface is nice and smooth. So it's always enjoyable to drive here, and we can set up the car, nice and low and get them gripping quite well. So I'm looking forward to another good event this year. Seems like the locals picking up the Formula 1 more and more, so it's working quite well here. So hopefully we get a lot of people coming to see us on Sunday.
Thank you, Bruno.
Well, of course, I agree with Heikki regarding the track. It's one of my favorites in the calendar as well. And coming from last year to this year, the improvement on the facilities and everything is quite impressive. I think everything was a bit rushed last year, so everybody was a bit, this is not ready for the race. But in the end of the day, it's always a bit the case when it's the first year of the circuit. All the rough edges have been kind of sorted out for this year, so it's a much nicer place. Of course, the experience of the track is a whole different thing, and I think for everyone who's not used to India, it's a big cultural shock. But it's a culture full of history, full of richness, and I think if you learn how to appreciate that sort of stuff, you can enjoy the country.
Thank you. Thanks, Bruno. Jean-Eric, your first time here, I think?
Yes, indeed. So, to be honest, I don't have much to say about this track, except that it looks like a nice one, really smooth. And the race from last year looked quite nice, and I'm really looking forward to drive on it. And that should be a good experience. Then, of course, as Bruno said, off track it's quite a different country, and to be honest, I haven't experienced much. As I stayed in the hotel. I was quite far from everything, so didn't see much. Just on the roads, which looked quite messy. But beside this, we'll see how the weekend goes.
Okay, thank you very much. Narain, obviously a very busy week for you so far, a very busy weekend coming up, and as the native from the host country.
Yeah, we are coming off a hugely successful race last year, so expectations are high. I hope on Sunday we see a big crowd, a strong one. On what I always say is in India there is a lot of passion for Formula 1, and comparatively to our neighboring countries like China, the understanding of Formula 1 is a lot better. So it's going to be a good Grand Prix, I hope, and for us we have a small update which is a rarity here for our team, but hopefully it will work, and we have a few more tenths, and I know we need the seconds, but it is what it is, and I'm not complaining. I'm happy to be driving here and give it my best.
Okay, thanks very much, Narain. Kimi, your first time in India, what are your thoughts, your impressions?
Well, I came last night like 1 o'clock, so I only seen the motorway and the hotel. The hotel and circuit looks nice, so I have no complaints so far. The circuit I haven't go around yet, so latest tomorrow I will tell you about.
Are you a fan of Indian food?
Yeah, actually I am. If it's same like in Europe, I like it. No experience yet. This local food here.
Okay, thanks very much. Nico, I expect you've had a busy week.
Yes, we obviously had quite a few visits to India the last 2 years, and we've been here since Monday doing work with the local media and being in Delhi. like I said, been a few times here, but enjoy every time I come. Obviously, it's a very different culture and a special experience to come here, very different to all the other Asian places we go to. But they're always very welcoming, very friendly. So I enjoy being here. Obviously, the track is new to me. I will have to learn that one tomorrow. And generally look forward to the weekend, really. Obviously, it's a special week for us, and hope we can, entertain the crowd.
Okay, thank you. Now, a question to all of you about your futures. I don't know if you've got things signed. Just give us some sort of update, as it were, as to what's happening for next year. Heikki, would you like to start?
I wouldn't actually like to start, but now that you're pushing me, nothing's been signed for next year for myself yet. I think personally my target and my focus is at each race weekends. I think for our team it's quite important. We're trying to regain the 10th position back in the championship from Marussia. It's not going to be easy, but I think we got to do whatever it takes to be in a position to do that if a freak race happens again. So the main focus is on that. And regarding the future with my team and with Tony, we haven't decided yet. I think Tony knows what he gets, with me, but then he's evaluating other options, I think, to see what he wants to do, and I'm waiting. And in the meantime, of course, my management, they also working, so there's nothing really to report, but the main thing I think for myself and really for our team, it has to be to keep pushing to get that 10th position back. I think it's quite crucial.
Right, thank you. Bruno, for next year.
Nothing has changed from the last time I was here and you asked me the same question, but now the focus is still the same, just to keep pushing and trying to get points for the team, and then hopefully be in the grid next year.
Jean-Eric.
Well, I haven't really thought about it, really. So far I have a contract with Red Bull, so I think I just have to keep doing the job I'm doing and improve myself every race weekends, and I think about this race weekend and Abu Dhabi, and then we'll think about next season. But I'm quite confident in staying in Toronto, and that's what I would love to.
Okay, thank you. Narain.
Yeah, I mean, again, I have a good relationship with HRT. Now it's my second year with them, and they've built a good factory and everything else. So on paper, the next year will look the best. So realistically, I would like to stay here, and that's the plan right now. Thank you.
Kimi, we're told we can expect an announcement this next week or so?
Well, I don't know. I mean, we have options, but nothing has decided yet, so I guess it will decide it at some point.
Okay. Nico, there are rumours about where you're going to go. When do you think we'll hear?
I know there's lots of talk about my future, but at this point I don't want to make a comment on the speculation. I'll just focus on this weekend, which is the most important.
Are things settled? Can you say that?
Just no comment.
Just no comment. Okay. Questions from the floor, please. Raise a hand if you would. Questions from the floor. Microphone will come. Yeah, gentleman here. There's a microphone just coming over. Can you give us your name and publication, please?
Kimi, question to Kimi. Myself, Sridhar from Sakal Media House, Pune. Kimi, how the break from Formula 1 to Rally has helped you, because your second stint has been turning out to be as good as the first one, and you are giving your best. How the break has helped from being away from the F1 circuit?
Hasn't really changed anything. I mean, I was pretty happy to go and do something else for a while, and did some racing and enjoyed it again. So it's the same place, It's okay. There's some new circuits, some new places to come this year. I have a new team, but apart from that, Formula 1 hasn't changed, and it's exactly the same. So for me, there's no really change. I mean, people always talk that when I was last time, I didn't have a motivation, but I thought that I drove better than I ever drove it in the last year. But we just had a pretty bad car on that time, so nothing really has changed for me.
So, is that basically the question you were asking? Yes, that's okay. Some more questions, please. More questions? No? Yeah, gentleman over here. Once again, your name and publication, please.
Vinayak Pandey from the Hindustan Times.
Is that switched on? Button that up. Button that up. Can we change? Yeah. Thank you.
Vinayak Pandey from the Hindustan Times. It's a question for Naren. You've probably driven on this circuit a lot more than some of the other drivers. The conditions in Delhi got unexpectedly cool, and there was a rain shower on Wednesday. Should the temperatures become cooler than they are right now on qualifying or Sunday? Do you see any particular changes in the way the cars will handle the outcome?
I think the track conditions are a lot better than last year already. It was very dusty, and because of all the landscaping they've done, it's all the dust is settled down. There's no more construction around the circuit, so already we have a higher level of grip, and the circuit looks quite nice. And as you know, I drove the MRF Formula 2000 car a month ago. It was already very good, but temperatures they won't matter. They're going to drop a few degrees or from today, I think, but it's okay. The tires are fine, and compared to last year, the hard compound is actually, we have the same allocations, but it's a little bit softer, so it should be fine here.
Some more questions. Yes, back here. One of those two, please. Yeah. Again, name and publication, please.
Yeah. Chetan Narula from Planet F1. My question is to Kimi. It's in two parts. First is how big a challenge was the Pirelli tires coming because the last time we had different tires and now totally different compounds and everything. And the second question is you haven't won this year, but despite that, how good has this been a comeback for you?
I had some thoughts about the tires before I did one private test. But it wasn't the race tires; it was some other even more worse tires. But I thought that they were fine. When you come from the rally, you have much more grip, and the tires were okay for me. So on that, I knew already after that I will not have any issues, because there was a lot of talk that maybe it's not good. But where I came back, I didn't really remember how it was a few years earlier. So I thought that the tires were completely fine, and I still think. They've worn off in some races a bit more faster than in the past, but that's the same for everybody, and I think they've been doing a very good job for Formula 1 Pirelli, so I'm happy with that. And the second question, yes, I'm happy. If you would told me before the season that I will be in this position at this much of points and podiums and stuff like that, I would have taken. But of course, when you do some good races, you always want to achieve more and more, and then you're disappointed if you don't. So kind of when you do well, you want more and more. So it could have been better, but I guess it could have been much more worse also.
And there was another gentleman here. Again, name and publication, please.
This is Raghunath from the Hindu. This question is to Raikkonen. Do you fancy your chances this year? You're third in the championship.
Yeah, of course. We have a chance still, but it's the different. Like let's say in 2007, we had a car that you need, and we can win all the races. And right now, we are not the fastest car, so we need more help to really win it. So, but we keep trying, and hopefully we can achieve it. We try until there's no chance, but it's a bit different situation, But if we can improve next few races the car, you never know what happens. So.
Some more questions. Any more? Sorry, yeah. Gentleman from Hindustan Times again. Just here.
Question for Kimi. after which race did you feel that the Lotus team didn't have the same sort of competitiveness that it did, like during the start of the season? Or do you feel like?
I think in Spa we had some signs, but then we have seen this year that one race we were very strong and the next not so good, and it went up and down between the teams. So some reason after maybe summer break that some of the top teams been much more consistent, and I think we still have a good car. We improved it in the last race again, but we're not in a level that we maybe were comparing the others in the beginning of the year.
Okay. Any more? Yeah, Gary.
Question for Nico. You said you mentioned you got here on Monday. Can you just give us an idea of some of the things you've been doing since you got here?
Well, mainly a lot of media interaction. Obviously, we're an Indian team, so there's quite a bit of interest. So we've been around, talking to a lot of TV stations, went to some studios, did the sponsor event with Hackett, which is a team partner in terms of clothing, and it's only 2 days, and 2 days pass pretty quickly. Sorry? No, we haven't met Vijay.
Anyone else? No more? Yeah.
Question to Naren. Since you are closely associated with this track, some changes have been made. Though the changes are minor, what do you think it will make the race, more interesting, more faster?
Now the layout remains the same. It's just the curbs are extended a little bit in turn 5 and 6, and then they put some AstroTurf to keep the dust down, because there was a lot of cars going off in that particular corner last year. Apart from that, the layout, as everyone else said, it's fantastic, and I'm glad they haven't changed anything. It's nice to drive on. It's pretty flowing, and it's fast.
Okay, that's it. Yeah, one more over here. Last one. Gentleman right over there in the corner.
This is to all the drivers, whoever wants to answer this. The long straight over here is something that the DRS was really tailor-made for. How much, although we didn't see too much overtaking last year, how much of overtaking do you think there is a scope for over here?
Who'd like to answer that one? Somebody
We won't be doing much overtaking, so I think these guys...
Heikki?
Yeah, we have the same problem as Narain. So.
Well, normally the overtaking is more due to the tire difference between the cars than to long straight or DRS. The long straight always helps a little bit, but if you're coming from a corner like turn 2, which is a long corner where you put a lot of heat on the tires into a hairpin, normally your traction is a bit more compromised. So the overtaking really is more due to the tires than anything else in current Formula 1.
Straightness.
Unfortunately,
or if you're Toro Rosso, you have about 20 kilometers per hour more top speed than everybody else, then you can overtake as well.
Okay, let's leave it at that. Thank you very much indeed, gentlemen. Thank you.
Thank you.